Wargaming's Beat Map Batrep!
Welcome back to Beat Map Batrep, episode 24, Grey Knights vs. Tyranids. We're entering Tyranid turn 2. So first off, we have to see if these guys are going to regroup, and they do just fine. And then we're rolling for reserves. Should have done that first. The Doom of Malan'tai is coming in. It scatters a little bit, but because of its rules, it doesn't scatter at all, because we're just going to hit guys instead. So the Doom of Malan'tai comes out. He's in range of 2 of the Grey Knight Terminator squads, so we'll see what happens there. The Tyranids moves up. Everybody else is just moving up. I'm trying to utilize cover as much as I can so I can maximize how many Gene Stealers will make it to his front lines alive. Because obviously the more that can, the greater my chances of actually beating him. Even if they do have their psychotropic grenades and anti-psyker stuff and everything else. So Swarmlord is lagging behind as he's so slow. I think he's super powerful, but he is just so slow. I wish that monstrous creatures could move a little faster than the average troop. Maybe just like give him fleet or something. And then we have our Doom of Malan'tai trying to suck the brains out of these guys. 3d6, they make their leadership test no problem. The other group fails it by 1 and do not make their invulnerable save, so one of them does go down, giving the Doom of Malan'tai 1 extra wound. So that's all he manages to do though with that. Firing at the Dreadnought, managed 2 hits on him. He does get a 4+ cover save, fails one of them. And roll, and I penetrate, and I wreck the Dreadnought. So, good job, Tyranids manages to take out that Dreadnought. You can see how effective they are at taking out vehicles at a distance. The Mycetic Explorer lashes out with its lash whip thingies and doesn't do any damage. And then the Doom of Malan'tai uses his psychic power, passes his psychic test just fine, even with the -1. And it does scatter back, still manages to hit about 4 of the Terminators at strength 5, manages 3 wounds. It's AP 1, so he does get his 5+ invulnerables. 2 more of those go down. I do lose 3 wounds from doing it though, and then I gain the 2 back, so I have a net loss of 1 wound by using that psychic attack. He moves his Grey Knight Terminators up, not out of the 6-inch range, thankfully, of the Doom of Malan'tai, which means he's going to get to try to suck some more brains out. So he's just going to be a nuisance to them from now on. The Dread Knight moves up. He actually moves into the 6-inch range of the Doom of Malan'tai, so I'll have a chance to try to suck his brains out as well. That's what we're going to do right now. So we got the 2 Terminator squads and the Dread Knight. So first with the Dread Knight, he has his leadership of 10. Fails it by 1, but he makes his invulnerable save. Then we have the Grey Knights, and they make triple 1. They like super insane courage. And this group over here fails it by 2, and they save 1 of the invulnerables. And so 1 more of the Terminators does go down. So he's already pretty much paid for himself, killing 2 Terminators. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Firing everything he's got into the Tyranids, he manages a few rending hits. And then after that, this is how many saves I have to make, 2+. I fail 3 of those 2+ saves, so he's down to 1 wound. His Dread Knight then opens fire into the Gene Stealers, first with the cannon, managing to take out 1 of the Gene Stealers, and second with his Super Flamer that he can fire from a distance. And manages to hit a lot of them. No cover saves against this, so 3 of the one group goes down, and 1 of the other group goes down. I have to be careful who I take out. I have to leave him a coherency, which you can see I put that guy back because he wasn't in coherency. Then we have the one flame thingy, I can't remember which one it is from the Terminators, but they manage to take out 1 Gene Stealer, and then the rest of them fire their Stormbolters, but they really fail to do much damage. They only manage to kill 1 more. In the assault phase, the one group of Terminators charges in, thankfully far enough away that they're not all going to get engaged. The second group of Terminators multi-assaults into the Doom of Malan'tai. And so he's trying to pass his psychic powers here to get his plus strength and everything else. So this one rolls as well. A lot of them are failing due to the shadows and the warp, thankfully. None of them are getting perils, but for now, and this is the psychotropic grenade thingies. And so the one Gene Stealer has to attack his own buddies, and manages to do nothing, thankfully. And then the rest are attacking. Now, the guys with the halberds have the same initiative as the Gene Stealers, but at least the Gene Stealers still get to attack. So we're doing the Gene Stealer attacks first, just in case they can manage to kill somebody. And here he does lose 1 of his Terminators, so we take out somebody who would not have been in that fight. And because any of the ones that are touching the Mycetic Explorer are actually down to initiative 1, because it has the lash whips. And so all of these guys managed to, as you can see, they wiped out a few Gene Stealers already, and then the rest of them are attacking. Don't manage to do any wounds right there. The Spore then gets to attack, and he's a monstrous creature, so he manages to kill 1 of the Terminators, which is really nice. And then the initiative 1 guys get to go. We have all our Demon Hammers And he fails to wound right there, so he's not doing too well. Then he attacks my Ascetic Spore. Now these are going to be Strength 8 Demon Hammer weapons, or they might be Strength 10, I can't remember if he got it up. The first with the Halberd, he manages to take down a wound, and then we get the Demon Hammer here. Manages 2 hits, 1 wound, no save, so that's an insta-kill on the my Ascetic Spore. And so I lose combat by 4, and 2 more of them die, so he's still locked in combat with that 1 Gene Stealer. On to the other combat. A little convoluted here because initiative orders managed to kill 1 Terminator, thankfully. That was initiative 6 stuff. The Prime is initiative 5. Both Gene Stealers then go down. The Prime is up against his independent character, so that'll be an interesting fight. He's attacking the Doom of Malan'tai and manages only 1 hit. Does manage to wound it, and it's not an insta-kill, thankfully, so he only goes down by 1 wound. Fails his 3+ invulnerable save. The Prime then goes next and manages 3 hits. Out of those 3 hits, he does have the Lash Whip and Bone Sword, remember? But he makes all of his saves just fine. Then he goes to hit him back with all the other guys who are now at initiative 1, because he does have the Lash Whip, remember? And they kill the Prime, no problem. And then the other 2 guys, a Demon Hammer. So these are insta-kill weapons. Manages 3 hits, 3 wounds, and I make all 3 3+ invulnerable saves. But he does lose combat by 2, loses 2 more wounds, and so he's down to 2 wounds left. So not looking very good for the Tyranids. End of round 2. These guys have managed to regroup. The 1 Tyrannofex is just about dead. We got these 2 groups of Gene Stealers, thankfully still mostly at full strength. But over here you can see these Terminators are just mopping up that Doom of Malan'tai, now very hurt. Luckily will still be alive during my shooting phase, gets a chance to suck out some more brains. The Swarm Lord and the Tyrannofex are moving into position to start engaging some of the Terminators as well. And so now, stay tuned for round 3. Click on the annotation if you're on YouTube. Otherwise, click on the link below and leave a comment who you think is going to win.